This is our Expert Speak of the Week. Today we are discussing the tax-related questions that our viewers have been sending in to us. To help me do that, I'm joined by the founder of Wealth Being Advisors, Amit Kukreja. Amit, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. Okay, so today we're discussing what capital gains is in when it comes to investing in property, buying or selling. Right. So before we get to the questions, can you quickly decode for us what exactly is capital gains tax, and how should you go about it?
See, anytime you hold a capital asset, there is a duration for which you hold the asset, beyond which when you try to liquidate the asset, in other words, you transfer the asset, any profit that you make out of it by holding the asset is actually subject to income tax. However, there are provisions where you can exempt from taxes the capital gains, which is basically the, in common terms, profit that you have made by holding the asset. Right. So I think the confusion keeps emerging from how do we avail the income tax benefits by selling the property and ensure that the tax liability is minimal when we sell, and what are the provisions of reinvesting so that obviously we minimize the tax liability. And there are several scenarios in real estate, and that confuses the people a lot. Okay,
so let's get to those scenarios. We have our first caller on the line, Amit Gulati. Hi Amit, what's your question?
Hi, my question is on the recent changes in Sector 54 of Income Tax Act, regarding capital gains in residential property. Okay. So assuming that I sell 2 residential properties and I still hold another one, am I allowed to reinvest the gains in 2 new properties, one against one, and therefore gain capital? So could you guide and advise me, because I'm not really clear on these guidelines.
Sure.
Okay. What's your
so Amit, what you can do is you can actually avail the income tax exemptions by selling the 2 properties by reinvesting the capital gains either into one property, or you can reinvest the 2 properties based on individual calculation. However, what you have to watch out for is, one, the capital gains is being reinvested in one property against one, or one against both of them. The other one is you have to ensure that the capital gains which is arising from selling the property is actually a completed property for which you have taken possession. The under construction property does not qualify as a property. It's a different capital asset, and it has its own tax provisions which are separate from a completed property.
Amit, all this is heavy jargon for normal viewers. If somebody comes across, okay, I have 2 properties, somebody tells them, okay, capital gains tax is something that you're liable for. So right now you are here advising our viewers, but on a normal basis, like we say in real estate transaction, you must hire a lawyer. Now we need to start taking advice from a chartered accountant as well. So how do you get about this on
a day-to-day basis? You clearly need a financial advisor at home. So because there are people hold multiple assets. If you're a serial
investor at least.
Yeah, even if you're not an investor, if you have a portfolio of varied asset classes, this could be equity, this could be real estate, fixed income, gold, you need an advisor who can guide you on the tax implications.
Right.
So it will not be a lawyer's help, it is more of an advisor, and this advisor could be a chartered accountant, this advisor could be a SEBI registered investment advisor or a certified financial planner. Okay. Anyone but who understands not just calculation but also understands the investment perspective of the money.
Okay, excellent. So Rohit Kumar next has a question via an email. He says, I have an apartment in Crescent Park, Phase 2 in Sector 92, Gurgaon. He will be receiving possession in a few months. He wants to sell this and buy another one in Bangalore. He has been paying EMIs for this Gurgaon flat. He wants to know, is he eligible for tax benefits for these EMIs?
See, his name is Rohit?
Rohit, yes.
So Rohit has to understand that any EMIs that he has paid for a property for which he borrowed the money, actually the income tax exemptions can be taken only if he takes the possession of that particular property.
Okay.
He cannot roll over the EMI and interest payments to another property. However, any capital gains that he would make by selling that property that he has bought in the under construction stage, that capital gains can be exempted from taxes.
Okay.
But there is no provision of availing interest benefit from the income tax laws if he is selling a property and buying a new one. The moment he switches over, the income tax, the interest and the income tax calculations automatically start afresh for the new property that he has bought on the borrowed money.
All right. Another question comes in from Taru Sardana. Taru writes, planning to buy a flat in Gurgaon. This would be a joint ownership between him and his wife. His wife already has a property and has been paying EMIs on it. He wants to know what are the tax obligations for this second property they're planning to buy. Are they applicable for any tax deduction?
Sure. So, according to income tax laws, husband and wife or any individual or tax entity can keep only one house in the self-occupied state.
Okay.
One cannot keep multiple houses in self-occupied state unless the ownership is different. In this case, assuming the husband and wife are staying together, they can only put one house in the self-occupied state. Now, this could be wife's house where her income tax exemptions are capped, or this could be the joint property that he's planning to purchase. If the joint property that he's planning to purchase, then the income tax exemptions are capped for both the individuals because they are the owners, and the wife's property can be put in the let out state.
Okay.
So they have to understand that only one can be kept in self-occupied, the other can be let out. In the self-occupied, there is a limitation on the interest deduction. However, in the let out, there is no limit on the interest deduction. Entire interest amount is exempted from taxes, and there is a separate calculation that they have to go through to figure out whether it's income or loss from the second let out property.
Okay. When you say self-owned, what was that word that you used?
Self-occupied.
Self-occupied. Would you? Does that mean single title holder, or do you mean end use?
No, it is for end use.
End
You are
use.
living in that
Living in
house
that. Okay.
for your living, and let out is you are renting out the
Renting
property,
out
and there is a tenant living in that property.
Okay. All right. So that's Amit Kukreja for you, founder of Wealth Being Advisors. Amit, thank you so much for those useful insights into how capital gains taxes work in our country.